Okay, so what I'm demonstrating here is how to fit your or how to think about the positioning of your frames over the top of the HiveGate internal entrance, and the distances that are needed between the frames, or the bottom of the frames, the bottom bar of the frames, and the internal entrance of the HiveGate, to best enable your bees to work that internal entrance. It's crucial, bee space and so on and so forth, and in this situation, bee space is not the crucial number, but we need to work within some limitations close to it. In my observation hives, I have this gap is at 15 millimeters, which is for the purpose of testing out the distances and so on. In my own hives, I have no more than 10 millimeters from the bottom of the frame, bottom bar, to the top entrance part of the HiveGate itself on the internal entrance. So we're talking about the measurement from the bottom of your bars to the top of the lip here. Now, the distance between those two is crucial to the ability for the bees to be able to work this gate. If you take them too much further away from that, using something like a slatted board or such, then you're completely disengaging the bees from the gate, and they won't be able to do what this is intended to help them do. So I have a ruler here, which is sort of roughly, it's not too great, guys, sorry, it's in millimeters. What you're looking at there is the 20 millimeter mark. The HiveGate's 10 millimeters overall height, which in this case will leave a 10 millimeter gap between the HiveGate and the bottom of the first frame. That's absolutely fine, and you can bring that gap right up to the frames if that's how your gear fits together. And it just so happens that the frames come down and come quite close to the HiveGate itself. That's not a problem. The internal entrance is designed so that no matter how many frames or how close the frames are down over the gate, you can see that there's always some room, plenty of room, more room in the internal entrance for exit and entry than there is at the front of the HiveGate, always, no matter which way the frames are sitting over the gate. Even if it's down on top of it, there's always a much larger area of access and entry left than is needed. So there's no problem bringing the frames down as close as possible without compressing the HiveGates. It's really important that zone below there is retained. It has some work potential in the physics of thermodynamics. So it's important that the bees can use that gate without actually touching the floor. Once they do that, you'll have yourself some magic happening, and it won't fail. So that's the fitment for that purposes. It's just crucial to make sure that gap is sort of no more than 15 millimeters. I'd recommend more like 10, preferably 5, but it'll depend on your equipment, the height of your risers, how low the box comes below your frames, as it's quite often different between different manufacturers. So the idea is that, as long as your frames aren't poking down lower than your brood box, they shouldn't be touching the HiveGate, and even if they were to come close, it won't be blocked up. Okay, so hopefully that clears that up. Yeah, any other questions, keep firing them through to us, guys. More than happy to try and help out there. Okay.